Good morning. Welcome back to One Sober to Another. I'm Wayne, and I'm an alcoholic. Today there is a whole lot going on in the world, especially in America. If you've been watching the news or you've seen anything that's going on, today for an alcoholic like me or an addict, I have a choice because I stand at the turning point. That's today's daily reflection for 7 January 2021. Let's go. All right, folks, let's get it. Half measures availed us nothing. We stood at the turning point. We asked his protection and care with complete abandon. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 59. Every day I stand at turning points. My thoughts and actions can propel me towards growth or turn me down the road to old habits and taboos. Sometimes turning points are beginnings, as when I decide to start praising instead of condemning someone, or when I begin to ask for help instead of going at it alone. At other times, turning points are endings, such as when I see clearly the need to stop festering resentments or crippling self-seeking. Many shortcomings tempt me daily. Therefore, I also have daily opportunities to become aware of them. In one form or another, many of my character defects appear daily. Self-condemnation, anger, running away, being prideful, wanting to get even, or acting out of grandiosity. Attempting half measures to eliminate these defects merely paralyzes my efforts to change. It is only when I ask God for help, with complete abandon, that I become willing and able to change. Folks, that is a mouthful. Hey, look, standing at the turning points, right? My character defects are huge. I have a lot of them, and most of us do. If I just simply stop drinking, and my alcoholism is a little bit different than some folks, but it is the exact same as every alcoholic out there. If I simply stop drinking, folks, and I don't change some of the things I do in my life and or all the things, depending on what is necessary, I will not change at all. I will go back to the old solution, the number one solution that I'm used to, and that's my alcohol or drugs or whatever your case is. Now you may not be an alcoholic like me, but I guarantee you do have character defects. And if we only eliminate the alcohol or we only eliminate the drug, they're still there. So there's a lot of inner work that has to be done, and especially if you're new to sobriety and you intend on maintaining recovery and maintaining your sobriety, there are things you have to change. There are things that, people, places, and things in your life that lead you back down towards the character defects that are within you, and they arise at the worst possible time. Anger, resentment, running away was one of my big ones. And, pretty much believing that I'm bigger than I am can lead me right back to the old thing, to the old habit, or to the booze. In my case, and in your case, it could be a lot different. I'm not certain. When I used to engage conflict and when I used to come across something I didn't agree with, I just took off. I cut sling and that was it. I was gone. That was one of my main character defects. That and fear of failure. When I have a failure or when I am presented with conflict, I would simply get in my car and drive away or just turn around and walk away. And a lot of you are probably doing the same thing, but I can't speak for you. I can only speak for myself. Half measures availed us nothing. We stood at the turning point and we asked his care and protection with complete abandon. That means we gave it all to our higher power. We said, we surrender to you and ask for help. Now, you may not believe in God and you may not believe in the Alcoholics Anonymous program, and that's okay, folks, but I guarantee you, regardless of your sobriety efforts or your recovery system, if you don't change you, if you don't work on your character defects and your defaults, then the changes will be temporary. Our goal is sobriety and long-term recovery. Therefore, we have to be willing to give everything to our higher power, not just the parts that we think will change our drinking behavior or our addiction behavior. We have to give it all. And then we will receive the gift of our higher power, which is sobriety, and the wisdom to be able to live within our own worlds without our character defects holding us down, without our anger, resentments, fear of failures, and everything else holding us back in the bottle or holding us back in the needle or whatever your situation is. Step one, we admitted we were powerless over alcohol and that our lives had become unmanageable. And that can apply to drugs, that can apply to, gambling, whatever it is, whatever your situation is, folks. But as long as we are willing to accept that part and we are willing to accept our shortcomings and accept our defects, character defects, and we ask that they be removed, then we can start recovering. Then we can start our journey to recovery as we are sober. As long as we don't hold on to those resentments, folks, and those anger and everything else and those character defects that are within all of us, and we change the way we respond to certain situations and behaviors, then we can grow. That's the bottom line here, folks, as far as today's daily reflection. Every day I stand at turning points. My thoughts and actions can propel me towards growth or turn me down the road to old habits. This is the last portion that I'm going to put into that because I believe the way I just phrased it ends the daily reflections, but that's not true. The way I feel about things and the way I process behavior and the way I understand my world to be and how it makes me feel gives me the ability and option to choose what I do with that, how I respond, how I think about that. I can either choose to stay in a negative pattern, negative thought pattern, and start a downward spiral and start catastrophizing and everything else, or I can look at the positive aspect of whatever's going on and make positive changes in my life that produce positive energy and positive thoughts. And that, my friends, will keep me sober, and it will also allow me to thrive in my recovery versus just being sober. If that makes sense for any of you, or you have any comments on today's daily reflection, leave your comments below so somebody can get some of that. Hit that like button so that we can keep this video in circulation and we can push it out to those who need it. One shout out for Dinah Armstrong. She just came back from detox. If you know her and or if you see her on Instagram and or Twitter or whatever, send her a shout out, send her some positive energy, and let her know that we are in her corner and with her. Lastly, but not least, later on today, I'm going to send out a video with veterans with anxiety. I did it last night on Zoom. So look out for that. It's definitely very awesome. His story is very common, and a lot of us can relate to that. And hopefully what he has to put out can help you as well. Check out his channel. I'm going to leave that description below. I'm also going to leave it in the description of the video below when I post that later on today. Life's a garden. Dig it. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.